work in a restaurant, right? I'm a waiter. And as the name suggests, a lot of what that job entails is waiting. And while I'm stood there in the restaurant, watching the people there, watching what they're doing, it leads me to think. A lot of the people that I see, the question I ask myself is this person happy, right? So I'll look at a table of like 4, 5, 6 middle-aged women, and I'll just think to myself, are these people happy? Because yes, right, they're laughing and they're giggling and they're telling their stories, but is there true happiness there? I think a lot of these people, they've come to represent comfort to me rather than anything. I see them, and that's what I see. I see a nation of comfortable people. They enjoy their lives. They eat good food, right? They have a nice car, they have a nice house, they have a husband who, he's all right. They have kids who, they're kind of clever, they're sort of average in their school, but they're comfortable. They live lives of comfort. But the question I then ask is, are these people really happy though? Does comfort equal happiness, or does comfort neuter them in a weird sort of way? These days we're a lot like dogs, right? Like we neuter ourselves. Like in your lineage there are wolves, bro. Like back in the day you came from these like tribal warriors. Like a dog came from a wolf. But these days you're a fucking chihuahua, bro. Like you're so comfortable. You're this chihuahua that lives with his master and he's got the nice bed and the food is so nice and like full of fucking sugar probably even for these dogs now. The vegan food, the vegan dog food, bro. That's what you're eating. But your lineage was wolves, bro. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather a million years ago was like a wolf that was living in the Alaskan tundra. And yes, he was uncomfortable. He had to struggle every day to find his food. He was freezing cold. He was wrapped up in with all his other mates, like just trying to get warm. But that wolf had purpose. It was living true to itself. It was living in that raw environment and it was happy. I saw a goldfish the other day, right? And the goldfish is what got me thinking. And it's created the kind of goldfish philosophy is what I call it. But the goldfish is happy. That's the thing. The goldfish has a good life. The goldfish swims around its tank. There's no danger. The goldfish doesn't need to be afraid of being eaten. It's the perfect temperature, the perfect levels of salinity and oxygen. He gets fed magically every day. Food drops from the sky and he goes up and eats it. But is the goldfish really happy? And the same is true of you on self-improvement, bro. You can have crafted your perfect routine. You can be living full monk mode. You can be waking up every day at 6 in the morning and taking a cold shower, doing your work for 5 hours, going to the gym. But it is a routine. Even through this self-improvement, even through this monk mode, you have created a life of comfort. And by the way, monk mode, bro, fuck monk mode. Like who saw a monk and said, look at that man. That there is the pinnacle of masculinity. That is the pinnacle of self-improvement. But anyway, the point is that these routines that you create, they create your own comfort. So you have your suffering, your hard routine, but realistically, tell me honestly now, is it actually hard for you anymore? Because it isn't for me. I go and take a cold shower now and it's easy. I step in, I turn on the cold water, I'm done. In fact, it would feel weirder if I took a hot shower. Our self-improvement, we trick ourselves into believing that we're not comfortable anymore, that we're living a life of discomfort, but really, we aren't. We have created a tank around ourselves, and yes, our tank might be slightly bigger than the average man's, but it still isn't the fucking ocean, bro. Our tanks are our routines, they're our friends, they're our parents, they're our family homes, they're our limiting beliefs. And all of us have built this tank around us. The thing that gives us comfort, it gives us safety and security, but also the thing that limits us in our lives. Because here's the thing, is the goldfish, right? However happy he is trapped in his tank. He can't go and swim around and meet his like goldfish mates and go and do cool shit and like swim over the anemones and like the big fucking crevasses and shit in the ocean. He can't actually do any of the cool things because happiness is relative. And this is the thing that the goldfish mentality, because happiness is relative, and that is the point of the goldfish philosophy. The goldfish philosophy basically says that if you live at a baseline of comfort, how do you actually know if that is happiness? Because happiness exists in relation to sadness. You only feel happy because you feel better than like this pit of sadness. I don't know, it's hard to explain it, but emotions exist in relation to their like correlatives. Like happiness exists because of sadness. Sadness exists because of happiness in the same way. But if you live a life of comfort where there is nothing that can enter your space, very soon you'll become used to it. And that's the point, I think, is really, if you live that life of comfort for too long, it becomes sadness in its own way. Because there is nothing to compare it to, because there is no discomfort ever. You don't actually feel that good, you don't actually feel that comfortable, because there is no comparison. Emotion is relative. So you need to be like the goldfish who says, fuck this tank, bro, I want to be in the ocean. Because even though there are sharks that can eat me, even though some nights I'm a bit cold, even though I have to like snuggle up in my anemone with fucking Nemo and the other boys, it is better than being in this tank where I've forgotten what it means to be alive anymore. The goldfish in the ocean knows what living is, and so the goldfish in the ocean can experience extremities. That is the important point, is there are extremities. They have their deep sadness, but their deep sadness allows them to feel elation past the point that the comfortable goldfish can never feel. And it's the same with humans. These humans that live their comfortable lives, they don't ever have any feeling of pure exuberation, because that only comes in relation to depression and sadness. You only ever feel the best you'll ever feel if it's because you've overcome something great, some great struggle that you've passed it, you've overcome it. That is when true happiness happens. Happiness doesn't occur when you've eaten your fucking 7th pizza of the week and you've driven to work for the 5th time that day. I don't know, those timings are a bit off, but you know what I mean. So seek discomfort, bro. Stop living the comfortable life just because it is easy and it is there for you. So many of us stay in these situations we don't enjoy because they are comfortable. We stay in our parents' house even though we don't really like it. We stay in a relationship with a girl that we don't like. We stay in the same city for too long even though we want to move. But I'm telling you now, the only way to live a life of fullness is to live to its extremes, to seek complete discomfort so that you can reach pure bliss. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Leave a like and a comment, you'll find those right below the subscribe button. And join the Discord. It's full of young men just like yourself who are trying to grow themselves, trying to better themselves. Come onto there and talk to me and the other guys about your self-improvement journey, about your struggles, about the things you're trying to implement, maybe about these comfortable things that you're trying to break free from. Also, recently I've started doing calls, so go back to the description. Under the Discord link, you'll find an application form to sign up for a call. Fill in your availability and you'll be matched with like a time slot that works for me. You get a free one-to-one, fully confidential call with me where you can ask me anything, any advice you want. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Manifest excellence. Goodbye.